Thank you, Tony. This is Ohio Attorney General Richard Cordray. And let me say that like the rest of the nation, Ohioans are hurting right now. They're trying to make good financial decisions and provide for their families, but increasingly they're finding themselves the targets of scam artists who simply want to take advantage of their hardships in the ways that have been described. What makes job scams particularly insidious and what makes today's effort so important is that these scams most often exploit families and honest consumers who are trying to make an honest living. Instead of making money, victims end up losing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. In Ohio today, we're filing a lawsuit against a Cincinnati-based corporation called Jobline. This company offered employment services through a website and by placing classified ads in local newspapers. When job seekers called the number in the classified ad, they found out that it was not a potential employer, but rather an employment referral service for which they would need to pay $250 for access to information about the advertised jobs. Jobline claimed to exclusively work with local employers, including Fortune 500 companies, to fill vacancies. And they claimed to provide access to 15 to 30 new job openings every day and 600 new local job openings per month. They also promised one-on-one sessions with trained career counselors. The reality was that consumers who answered the ads and employed Jobline services were no better off than if they had applied through other means. Our investigation revealed that the majority of the employment offers were not obtained through exclusive relationships with employers, and that Jobline provided information about job openings that was already publicly available, often outdated and inaccurate or false. In our lawsuit filed today, we're charging Jobline with multiple violations of Ohio's Consumer Sales Practices Act, including failure to deliver and making misleading statements. We're asking the court to prohibit this company from continuing its deceptive acts and to hold it accountable for providing restitution to consumers and civil penalties. This is just one example of this type of scam, which we've seen proliferating over the course of the economic downturn in the past year and a half. But we know that there are hundreds, if not thousands more out there. The problem is identifying and tracking the scam artists who often work in the shadow of the internet. In Ohio, my office has launched a new effort against scams plaguing our consumers. We've created an internal working group that made up of investigators who work with local and national databases to track trends and identify scammers. Additionally, we've set up an online intake form for consumers to notify us of new scams, whether they're a victim or not. This is on our website at speakoutohio.gov. With this concerted effort, we hope to further awareness and empower consumers to protect themselves. And we are happy, very pleased to partner with the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice in these efforts, which are needed and sorely needed in our communities and we know across the country, on behalf of all the state attorneys general involved today. Thank you.
Thank you, General Cordray. We now will hear from Kathy Wilburn. Thanks so much, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathy Wilburn. In June of 2009, I saw a classified ad in the employment section of the Dallas Morning News for production workers, forklift drivers, warehouse work. The ad stated that jobs starting anywhere between $14 and $19 an hour, plus benefits. I called the number listed and talked with a representative from Career Hotlines. She told me that Career Hotlines worked with Fortune 500 companies to place employees in full-time positions. She told me that Career Hotline had jobs available and she guaranteed I would be working within 14 days. She told me there was a one-time placement fee of $89. And because she promised to find me a job, I decided to borrow the money and pay this fee. I asked her where Career Hotline was located, and she told me it was a nationwide company. She told me not to worry, that there were plenty of jobs available in my area. The representative told me I needed to pay the one-time placement fee of $89 and give her my information from my checking account. I told her I'd rather send her a check. She told me the phone check would be quicker, and it meant I'd be employed sooner. Because she guaranteed to find me a job and because I was eager to begin working, I gave her my account information. She also told me to fax my resume to Career Hotlines, and I did that. On Friday, June the 12th, I received a call from Career Hotline saying that my bank refused to release the $89 and told me to mail them a check immediately. She asked me to call and confirm that the check was in the mail. Later that day, I called them to confirm that I had mailed the check, and I needed to see if they had received my resume. I reached a recording and left my name and number. No one returned my call. I became concerned that they had not received my resume, so I faxed them another one. The next week, I called Career Hotline, all 3 telephone numbers that I had, every day. Each time I called, I reached a recording. I always left my name and number, but still no one returned my call. On June the 20th, 2009, I received a statement from my bank showing that my account had been overdrawn. Career Hotline not only cashed the check I mailed them, they debited my account also. So they got the $89 twice. I called Career Hotline to try to fix this mess, but no one returned my call. I began to suspect that they were recognizing my phone number on their caller ID, so I tried from 5 different cell phones. Still, nobody answered. On my last message, I asked them that I could not afford to lose this money, especially because I had been unemployed for so long that they needed to refund my money. On the 25th of June, I filed a complaint about Career Hotlines with the Better Business Bureau, seeking their help getting a refund. I never did get a refund. But I'm here today because I don't want this to happen to anybody else. People are desperate for work, but you've got people out there looking to take advantage. Thank you.
Again, I want to commend Kathy for having the courage to come up and talk to us today about her experience. I think now we'll take phone calls.
Yep.
Or first questions from the